See that big old picture in your screen right now? That means you on A&N R&B, exclusively given to you by heritagehiphop.com. Before we start this interview, when you come into the room, hit that like button. We ain't playing no games. We got a classic going on tonight. Look at the screen. Hit the like button, comment, and share the video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. If you want to give me some money, there it is right there. Hit that Cash App. Once again, welcome to A&N R&B, the show that talks about life from an R&B perspective and not only celebrates the rhythm and our blues, but we celebrate the God that gave us our rhythm and blues as well. I am Karev, a Heritage Hip Hop, and I want to talk to my brother right there with the button up on. What's going on, brother? Introduce yourself.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your man. Nas the Romantic here with you on A&N R&B. We got a great show for you tonight, man. Our first interview ever, man. So
that's
check
right.
Check it out. Like, subscribe, share.
Other brother, sir, introduce yourself to the people, please.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Big A. Glad to be here. Glad to see another day. Get ready for this interview.
All right, and we got the first lady of the show.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself to the people.
He went and saved the best for last. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Nika LaDean. I am the beauty on the scene. I'm sorry. I had to give y'all a little something, you know.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's going to be very special because we have somebody on the show that we respect. And for anybody who follows us on social media, if you don't know their social media, it's A&N R&B, just like that. You know what I'm saying? And I want to show a picture of who we're going to interview tonight because my computer wanted to eat my video, but y'all will see it on the promo. This young lady right here, let me tell you what she means to us in New Jersey who knows what real music is. Tonight, we're going to introduce you to the queen of Brick City Soul. We're going to introduce you to someone who not only sings because it is her God-given talent. I always tease her and say she gives birth every time she sings because when you hear the impact of her voice, it renews your spirit like you just heard music for the first time. There's not an eloquent person who can explain what music is, but there are great people who can live music and help bring you into their lives. There's one on the show right here. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to someone who's eclectic, someone who's faithful, someone who's loyal, someone who's strong, and someone who embodies power when it comes to genuine love for her expression. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Gail Campbell. Salute.
Ooh, hey, everybody. God be praised. Thank you so much for that, Karev. To God be the glory. Hey, everybody.
What's up?
Hey, Gail.
All right.
It's going to be a party, y'all.
Yes.
All right. Shout out to Stan Ipkiss on the check-in.
Yes.
What's up, Ip?
All right.
Oh, you know what? And I got to say this. If y'all are confused as to who Stanley Ipkiss is, number one, I direct you back to the beginning of this show where you heard the intro. And number two, pretty much anything you hear by Gail Campbell, I direct you to listen to anything by Gail Campbell because you're going to hear that name a lot.
That's
right.
That's right. The superhuman producer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Shout out to Notes 82.
Notes 82.
Gail Campbell, a superstar. Well, let's get busy on what's going on today. Sis,
Yes.
You know who I'm talking to. It's always a pleasure to be in your company because you bring a lot of light and a lot of blessings with you. So thank you for joining us at NNRP. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's always a pleasure to be in your company. I love you, respect you, you know how I feel about Heritage Hip Hop. Thank you so much, A&N. And I'm excited to be the first guest on your podcast.
That's A&N on R&B.
With family.
That's right. So before we get into the interview, let's have a nice conversation because I think music has come under attack in the R&B genre. Have y'all been watching, hearing the news and hearing the veteran singers talk about the genre recently?
I haven't.
Somewhat.
You haven't.
I heard a little bit.
I mean, besides Shaka Khan saying everybody can't sing with her.
Yeah, that's so.
Besides that, we have people in the media now saying that R&B is a zombie genre now.
Wow.
Yes. I was watching another podcast. I do a little, things to get ready for the podcast. And a lot of the veteran R&B singers are saying R&B is only wanted when it's not them singing it. And when you lose the soul out of the music, you lose the feeling and the expression that comes with how a singer is putting their all or putting their life into their breath into their work. Nas, how do you feel about that statement, and do you think that's true?
Was that Stephanie Mills that said that?
No.
She said something similar to that.
She said something very similar, but it wasn't her. It was another artist. It was a jazz singer this time, actually.
I mean, you have a lot of appropriation. I call, remember like we had the 5 heartbeats, you had the 4 horsemen.
Yeah.
You had that like
Wow.
sometimes you can get that. Like when you have an artist like coming from us, it comes from a lot of soul. That's why they call it soul music. It comes from the soul. It comes from experience. You know what I mean? Even if somebody else writes the song, they still feel the emotion from that song and portray it from the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So you get and other people, like, it's more like a cultural thing. Like, they ain't been through what we've been through.
Yeah.
Truth be told, they ain't been through what we've been through, so they can't put that anger or that love or that passion into the song like we can. Not to knock anybody else down, but that's how I feel. That's the way it is for me.
All right. So Nika, what about you? As an active R&B artist, how do you take that comment, and does that affect how you think people would take your art when they first get introduced to you?
They just feel that way because they ain't heard Nika LaDean and what Nika LaDean is writing about. But I will say this. Had I sang the things that I wanted to sing about, or if I had written what I wanted to write about at 18, 19 and sung those things, then I might get the same reception.
Okay.
But now that what I'm writing about and what I'm singing about has substance, then I think I might get a different reception. With that said, I feel like so many R&B artists this day and age. I mean, we can go back to the old school. If you listen to Babyface is always gonna sound like Babyface. You're gonna hear a Babyface song and you're gonna know the Babyface wrote it, even if Babyface ain't singing it.
Or,
You're gonna hear Janet Jackson. You're gonna hear all of these singers and you're gonna know it's them. But then you got so many R&B artists now, both male and female. A lot of men sound like other men, like when they sing. A lot of women sound like other women. I'm not going to name any names, but I can name you 5 R&B artists that are very current right now. And if I hear a song from them, I just think it's somebody else. There's only really one, and she's not new, but there's one artist that I hear, and I'm like, when I hear her voice, I know who it is, and that's her. Because her is very distinctive. Like, she made her mark. And not only that, the girl, she sings, she writes, she plays guitar, she plays piano, she plays cello, she could whistle, and I would be just fine with the girl whistling. You get artists like that, but then you get artists that everybody wants to sound like somebody else. There's just too much crossover in vocals. There's too much crossover in hip hop, not hip hop, rap and R&B at this point. It's just all kind of coming together. So I can see where modern R&B can be discounted, which is why you have artists like me and Gail who are bringing it to a different level. So,
okay, so Gail, let's add some hot sauce to this question, because as a person, you are more of a hip hop artist to me than a singer, and let me tell you why I say that. Not to belittle how you sing. I think you empower so much that it seems like when you sing, you carry the culture on your back as well as your talent. When you have someone who represents such greatness in a genre, when somebody attacks the genre, do you feel attacked, or do you feel you have to be you more to prove to the world that not only does the genre still exist, but they need to see who you are to understand the genre today?
I don't feel attacked, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't believe I fit into the R&B genre.
Mm.
I believe that that's just a part of me. I think that I'm kind of multi-genre. So that's why you hear that hip hop sound, and that's why um I do understand, like Nika was saying, I do understand where they're coming from when they say that. Because I just had the same conversation with my daughter last night. Her is the only one of that generation that I can tell it's her.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else does, they do sound exactly the same. And I don't know if that's an age thing, where they just haven't found their voice yet. I remember when I used to sound just like Mary J. Blige because I loved her to death, when I was in high school, and and I remember when they would say that, but then over time you find your own voice. um but no, I don't feel attacked. I don't even feel like those things apply to me. I do know what they're saying, but I think that I think that a new genre is starting to emerge. I don't. Do you know how, like, when hip hop started to change and becomes this other sound, and we who love hip hop, like, I'm not. This not settling right in my spirit. Like,
Yeah,
what is this?
yeah.
Maybe it's just something else. Maybe that's an evolution, offshoot. And maybe this R&B that we're calling R&B now, that sounds very R&B-ish. It sounds very hip hop-ish. I don't know what it is, but they all sound the same. Maybe that's something else. So I don't take it personally, because I know they're not talking about me. And I think that other artists who know what they do know that they're not talking about me. So no.
Okay, Big A, as a savant of R&B, as someone who not only has experience with the church side of R&B and singing, when you hear that people say that rhythm and blues is dying as a genre, what does that mean to you? Because you're very wordplay heavy. When somebody says dying as a genre, how does that affect you?
Dying, man, nah. That's simple-minded people that speak about things that they clearly don't understand or appreciate. Just as people of old, when you had the blues coming out, the people back then were like, "Oh, what are they doing? Why are they singing like this? What are they trying to sound like? Oh, look at this skibbity hibbity pop! Look at that! Oh man, his shoes is all shiny. Why is his shoes shiny?" You had those same type of people with that same small-mindedness, and instead of enjoying the craft and enjoying the evolution of a different sound, and so, like Gail said, something new. Now there are people that do sound a lot, and you have a lot of artists out there like her, like a couple other artists like Allegra, Shanoa Allegra. I'm trying to take all these names on the fly, but old school like Alicia Keys, who stood out when she came out, who had a different voice, who never sounded like anybody. Mariah Carey. These are early '90s. Now current R&B like Ashley Isaac and different sounds like that. You have these different like Lucky Day, these different artists that have their sound, and just because some people don't appreciate, they voice their opinion and try to put it on abroad, and saying that something is dying is completely crazy, because you still have people enjoying the same genre that people are talking about as dying. People still listen to these, old blues and R&B singers, just like they listen to all these new young R&B singers and blues singers. Like, you can't get around what people love. You're only debating about your opinion, not what's actual facts. If you're saying that R&B is dead, then you wouldn't have all these young artists that's coming out right now. You wouldn't have a Gail Campbell, a Nika LaDean. You wouldn't have all this stuff that's going on right now. So no, I don't agree with that at all. It's just their people's perspectives.
So let's give people a proper perspective on who our guest is, because we're not going to talk about how the genre is dying when God gave us a pulse to introduce us to the new eloquent sounds of music being given today. So this is how we're going to do the interview, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to facilitate. I'm going to call the names. They're going to ask their questions and we're going to build. And when something serious comes up that we're going to stick on, we're going to hit the let's build tab and we're going to go in. But make sure that you're here. I got some people watching. Hit the like button because we need to get on this algorithm. Please hit the like button. Let the world know that we're here. Share this interview and let's have some fun. Before we get into it, we got Peace Fam, Miss Boss. You already know who that is.
Yeah,
Miss
that's my
Boss.
sister.
Word, met her.
We have Stan Ipkiss and Gail fighting for her life as we speak in the tournament.
Yes, we are.
Talk about that
currently.
tournament real fast before we start.
Oh, well, Bashira, who is Stanley Ipkiss's wife, Miss Boz, she put me and Ip in a tournament separate. So now we done dwindled down and about to come against each other, which is ridiculous because it produced the song, so he gonna win however way it go. But it's me and him now, head to head in this tournament happening right now.
All right,
It's
well,
hilarious.
may the best one win, I guess, because I
I'm
don't know what to say.
I'm about to drag you, Ip.
Hey, challenge. Salute the Big Stomp. He said, salute the Gail and Heritage Hip Hop.
What's
May
up,
the Most High
brother?
bless you, bro. And we have one Danny Girl say, yep, it's an evolution of sound. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we here. So let's start the interview up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start building with each other. So let's build. Gail, I want to start the interview off, and I'm gonna pass it off and call the names of each person's gonna ask you questions. So I want to ask you one question. I follow you, and we have a good relationship. And I've seen that faith is something that comes across in not only what you sing, but how you live. You look very nice right now. And I know you've gone through this 40 days, 40 nights of no sugar, eating the word. Talk about that and how that helps you even grow musically by taking care of your body and your spirit.
Well, I just believe that, as children of the Most High God, part of our inheritance is our health and our wellness. It's our peace and all these other things. So when I saw that I was lacking in that area, I cried out to the Lord and he started to guide me. So I can say that as of tomorrow, I will be 12 weeks whole food plant-based, which is what the Bible calls Daniel fast.
And God bless you with that Daniel fast, because I think I lasted maybe 3 days on it. I was like, oh, a sister needs more than this little grape juice right here. This juice ain't.
There's nobody but the Lord carrying me through it. And I never felt so good in my life. And I just, so yeah, it is beyond my singing and, and everything. Holy means holistic as well. So that's the path I'm on right now, brother. But thank you, Karev.
No problem. Nas,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nas, pick up.
Okay, all right. Bloody Waters. Phenomenal album, man. Like the emotion from the whole album hits you like a wrecking ball, man. The whole album. What I loved about the album is that it's like watching a cinematic production or like binging a TV show. It's like you go from the beginning and outrage to the ending in victory. And it was only right that at the end you put the bonus banger. It's like a outro, like the ending credits. Mm-hmm. Like what was the process of making that album? Was that something that you meant to do? Or was that something that just came along as you were writing the album?
God was the executive director on that album. I honestly, we did not plan on it being, connected and telling the whole story. I literally, and an interesting thing with that album, how usually with the creative process, artists make a bunch of songs and then they decide what's going to be on the album and they arrange it so that it can flow. That was absolutely not our process. I would pick the beat, we would go in, we would record, and then I would say, okay, next. And then, and we actually arranged the album in the order that it was recorded. Now, that is why, because it took us a year to make the album. So that is why you can hear my gamut of emotions from beginning to end. That's over a 12-month period. And those songs are placed in exactly the way they were recorded. And it was not my intention. It was not Ipkiss's intention for me to put all of my business out there. It just really came about that way. And we realized that about halfway through the album that, wow, this is becoming my story. But it never was our intent.
All right, Nika, pick up.
All right. So, you talk about like, working with Ipkiss. One thing I know about Ipkiss is that Ipkiss's beats, everything that he makes, there's nothing just like smooth and just mellow. It's just always over the top. And so I listened to your vocals and his production, and everything is just like over. It's damn near operatic. It's an opera. Like you are like when you listen to a Gail Campbell album, you are listening to an opera. With that said, sorry, Ip, I gotta ask. Would you want to work with other producers just to kind of see if you get a different sound, or do you work with other producers, or how does that work? Love you, Stanley Ipkiss. I'm sorry, I had to ask.
I do work with other producers.
Okay.
I have worked with other producers. They bring out a different side of me.
Right.
It's just something about when me and Ip comes together. It's it pulls another side of me. I rise to the occasion of his music. So what you hear in the Gail and Ipkiss production is not all that I am, but it's just how it expresses itself when we come together. And I think that we decided to stay together for the second album and to continue to build on what we have, because when we do come together, we do realize that it's something different. We do realize that it's attention grabbing when we're together.
Absolutely.
And we don't sound like anyone when we're together. Not that he sound like anybody when he not with me, but I'm just saying, but when we're together, it really is something different, and we wanted to continue to rock out on that. But yeah, when I'm working with live artists, when I'm in church, and when I get an opportunity to just like vibe out with other producers, like in a, just in however way it happens, I do express myself a different way.
Yeah.
Because the music informs me on, I feel like I tell the beat tells me what it wants to be, and I just follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Love it. I can feel that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
ADR, good.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt. I was like, all right. It was like that quietness. Oh, so Gail, it's good to see you again. It's so good to see you.
You too, brother.
It's definitely good to see you again. Karev and I got the experience of the insider of the new work you were working on, new project, and I told you face to face I liked it. I loved it.
Thank you so much.
Definitely very talented voice. Definitely good vibe. Now, with more Muddy Waters in the new project, you hear a different sound, different eclectic sound in the second album, which sounds totally different. It sounds like Ghetto, but it's hard to explain without them hearing it. It's a total different sound, but
Mhm.
you still have the soulful melodies, the riffs and stuff that you sing naturally. As a singer, what do you look forward to when you deal with new producers?
Um, when I first met Ip, I'll tell you what I was looking for.
Hmm.
When I first met Ip, I wanted to I wanted to rock out. I wanted to express who I really was, and it happened to get me. And
Hmm.
he I wasn't expecting him to know what I was talking about.
Hmm.
I was expecting him to say, "Well, I don't have anything like that, but I have something like this," and I thought that I would have to compromise.
Okay.
But when I told Ip who I was and how I wanted to express myself at that time, he just smiled and said, "I got you," and he started playing beat after beat.
Mm.
So, what's up, Quaz?
Closet
Um,
real.
yeah, so we knew we had to work together from that point. Now, going forward, um, now since I have given birth to Bloody Waters, given birth to Let My People Go, I do want to express myself in some other kind of ways. And what I look for in a producer or anybody that I'm going to work with, and I'm sure that sis can relate to what I'm about to say. As a woman, we have to walk into rooms and walk into spaces and make sure that we're going to be respected as creators and as artists, and not just as a voice or a pretty face or something to put on the front for them.
Hmm.
So that's one of the reasons why Ip and I have been able to work together for all these years, because Ip Ip, Ip respects me as an artist.
Hmm.
So I respect him as an artist. He respects me as an artist. So I'm able to go in, put my ideas out there, and he's like, let her, she know what she wants. She know what she's about to do.
Hmm.
So that's the ultimate thing whenever I'm working with anybody. They have to be able to hear me, and there has to be a mutual respect, and they have to know that I am an artist. I'm not just a singer. I'm an artist. I'm a songwriter. I'm an arranger. I'm a producer too, even though I don't play instruments and make beats. But I produce. I know what I want to do.
Hmm.
So that's one of the things that I look for when I'm about to embark on anything with any other musician.
Okay. So since you said you're an artist, I got another question because I'm an artist too. I do artwork and different things like that. Every artist has a muse. So for you, what was your muse from Bloody Waters to Let My People Go? Because the sound, the vibe, and everything is completely different. So what were your two muses for these two different projects?
Mm. I think that for Bloody Waters, as I think about it now, I think it was just like the way I was raised and what my mother put in me. Like, my mother is such a music aficionado,
Hmm.
and I grew up like with rock music and 70s music, and I'm a hip hop head. So it was everything that I was. I think that with Bloody Waters, I
Hmm.
wanted to represent every single aspect of me. So I think my muse was Gail in her entirety.
Mm.
And I think that in terms of in that same vein, Let My People Go was kind of the continuation of that, with wanting to express other sides of myself. So that's why, and Let My People Go, we have those jazz influences. Um, stuff that didn't come out, because even though Bloody Waters had so much in it, it still wasn't everything in me. So I think Let My People Go was kind of a continuation of who I am and who Ip and I are together. I don't have any muse outside of myself. But if we want to, but definitely my influences are in there. If you want to look at it that way, definitely Ella, definitely Janis Joplin, definitely Andre 3000. Like when I listen to certain of my songs, I can hear them. I can hear them because these are the artists I love.
All right, Nika, pick up.
I promise I was just trying to unmute myself because I'm over here like yeah, and I don't want that to be coming across while you're talking. So I'm glad that you said that you go for your inspiration. One of the things I know as an artist is that before I get in the booth or before I'm about to perform or something, I have and I don't know if you're like me, I'm sure you are, because it's just like an artist thing, and especially as a female artist, I have like these rituals that I do. It's like almost like little traditions that I do. I have, before I go to the studio, I have to take a bubble bath. And I used to have this thing where I took M&Ms with me. It was just really bad. I used to take M&Ms with me to the studio, and I would like eat M&Ms, and then I would get in the booth and I would do something, and I'd be like, all right, play that back. And then they was like, okay, yeah, let's take like a 5-minute break. And I'm like shoving M&Ms. What is it that Gail does to like prep for like the studio? What is it that gets your mind right?
What I do is when I'm getting dressed to go to the studio, I sing in the shower to warm up. I put on very comfy clothes.
Yes.
I get in the booth, I take off my shoes. I bow down prostrate on the floor.
Oh wow.
Nobody knows this except people who have been in and we don't let a lot of people hang around in our sessions.
Yes.
It's usually just me, Ip, and Danny. But a couple of people, 1 or 2 people have seen this. I lay prostrate on the floor in the booth, and I give thanks unto God and thank him for allowing me to be able to do what I love.
Can you explain to people, because people who don't know about the Lord, they might not know what prostrate means. That is not the part of the man's body, y'all. Can you tell people what it means when you say I lay prostrate before the Lord? Can you tell them what that means? Just curious.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's not that part. It's not that. I lay down on the floor. I put my face to the floor.
Yes.
And I go before the Lord. And I thank him for allowing me to be able to do what I love. I thank him for making ways for me. I thank him for giving me the gift. And I acknowledge that I can't do anything without him. So yes. I release unto him and say, God, do it for me again. Touch my voice. When I stand up and I open my mouth, sing it for me, Lord. Sing it for me, Lord. Let your voice come out of me. Let your anointing come out of me. And I surrender all. And I realize that, I can't do it without you. I can't. And I dare not try. So, and then I stand up and I say, okay, I'm ready. Come on, Danny. Come on, Ip, let's go. With my bare feet.
All right, now let's pick up.
Make me cry over here, girl. Anyway.
All right, speaking of Let My People Go, there were 2 songs that stood out the most to me. One was Your Eyes, but the one that stood out the most was He's Able. And I know you were talking about the giving praise to the Lord. Would you think of ever doing a gospel album like that? Because I know with a voice like yours, man, you'll put the devil on the run. He ain't got no choice but to flee.
This is very interesting. He's able was Ipkiss's idea.
Wow.
He wanted to do a gospel down home church song. And that was powerful to me. And he just said, I want you to go to church. I want you. So I did He's Able. I do like He's Able. He's Able is the thing that's dragging it right now in the tournament. That's the particular song right now. But when I sing gospel, and I do think about it sometimes, I think about it every week. It's not like my albums. It's not the sound of any of my songs that y'all know. And if I do it, I would want it to be very live, organic. I would want to do it in the sanctuary. I would want to do it just I wouldn't want to write anything. It would be not like a gospel album. It would be a flow of the Spirit. It would be just a flow of the Spirit, and it would just go on, and it would be completely improved by the Holy Spirit. But I do think about it sometimes. I think the right musicians and opportunity and stuff would have to be put in place before I would do it, because I do not. It's so sacred to me that I can't do it like it's a project. I just can't. That's fine for other gospel artists. I love them. I listen to them, but I can't go and perform gospel music. And I never talked about this. I have never talked. And there's people who I go to church with who wonder, why are you a secular artist? Why don't you have a gospel album? Because I'm no entertainer when it comes to him. That's why. So I think about it. Short answer.
I respect that, Gail. Hey, Gail, I made a comment today. I want to know what you think about this. Two of my favorite songs from you. My one favorite song. We ain't gonna get into that yet. But two of my favorite songs from you are Overdose and let me get the name of, because I say it wrong, What Love Is. So I think those two songs kind of go together. You see what I'm saying? And judging off of what you said, and you say how you use God for inspiration, right? God is your voice. I made a quote today that said, "This world is full of many gods, but there's only two that matters. The Most High God and death, and we will meet them both sometime in our lives." The thing I want to ask you is this. When did you meet yourself, and when did God show you the you that was hidden from you until you saw him?
See what I'm saying? Karev always come through with the deep, like he just be digging deep. You know what I mean?
Dig it.
Just getting up in there. That's a soul question right there. That is a soul
Let me
question.
think about that.
You got that, Gail. Go ahead.
Well, I do remember when God told me who I was, and he changed my voice. I was not born and raised in church. I come from a Christian family, but one of those families where the only person that was a practicing church going Christian was my grandma. Everybody else, we were mother, father, aunties, uncles, cousins, all hell raisers and proud sinners. So when I started to have my own relationship with the Lord, and because the church always looking around for your gifts, right? And they like, you got gifts, come on, let the Lord use them. So that's kind of what happened to me. I was not They found out I can sing, and they started to push me to begin to sing in ministries and stuff like that. I was not prepared. I didn't know God for real, for real. So I didn't know how to do anything but perform at the time, because I was an active artist at the time. But as the Lord kept pushing me, and I started to see, oh my God, there's a difference between talent and the anointing. It's something different. And one day, as I was seeking Him, He completely changed my voice. I did not sound like myself anymore. And my voice went through a couple of evolutions. And He told me, He said, this is the time in your life where you're going to learn who I am, and you're going to learn who you are. And He said, there'll be another time when we're going to have to go to another level, but this is about you knowing who I am and knowing who you are. And that happened for me, Karev, about, I want to say maybe about 15 years ago. Yeah. About 15 years ago is when the Lord told me who He was, who I was in Him, and He changed my voice and gave me a different sound. So if you look at some of my early stuff, you're like, is that Gail? Like, I don't sound the same at all.
I appreciate that. Hey, that's effective. We're gonna go one more. We're gonna go around one more time before we go into our segment. So Nas, please pick up and ask one of them great questions that you prepared for.
Got you. I saw you on YouTube, and you did a cover of "Natural Woman," right? So, like, are there any other like songs from like artists either now or past that you would want to do another cover for, either just as a YouTube video or maybe on your next album?
Yeah. Um, I would love to do. Oh God, I'm always listening to something and saying, I want to redo that. And my husband is always like, you should do it. It's so many, Nas. Oh, there is I love the staple singers. I would love to redo some, maybe a staple singer song. I love James Brown. I'm gonna redo some hip hop stuff too.
Okay.
And like in a Gail Campbell way. And me and it was just talking about that. Um God, it's just so many. It's so many great songs that I'm always like, oh my God, I think I would like to redo this. But I did the Natural Woman at the urging of a friend of mine, um, because I was concerned because Aretha Franklin was deathly ill at that time. And he pushed me and said, hurry up and do it, hurry up and do it. So I really felt an urgency. So I practiced it a few times and then jumped in the car and did it. And she passed the next day. So now I know what that urgency was about. But I got a Tina Turner on there on YouTube that I redid. I don't know, it's so many. So many.
I can see you doing. I'll take you there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know a place.
you got
Ain't nobody crying.
Hey, why don't you pick up and to ask you your last question?
Damn, just one question? I got a whole bunch of them. Yeah, all right. I'm trying to think of a good one because I got so many. Gail, man. You know what? I remember the first time I saw you. The first time I saw you, Karev was interviewing you on Heritage Hip Hop. It was early on. And I remember him doing the live interview on YouTube. And I remember watching you. I remember the interaction. I remember the interaction with Samad Savage. I remember all that. All at that time. Yeah. See, I remember all that. I remember all that at that time. Now, that was early on before you had your projects. That was, I'm introducing myself to this group of people who have this network here. And that was before Chops. That was before all of that. That was way before all. Yeah, see? Yeah, that was before all of it. So that Gail back then is different from the Gail that we have right in front of us. What could that Gail offer to this Gail right now to help her to that next level you talked about?
I think that Gail would just I think about that Gail in that time when Karev and B came to my house and interviewed me and everything. That Gail would remind this Gail that although a lot of exciting things are happening, just remember, to stay in love with the music. Just remember to enjoy the journey. At that time, I was just so happy. Like, it was like my first real interview. And, shortly after, me and Ip started to work together, and we just had so much fun creating Bloody Waters. So now it's like I'm at the point in my career where I'm thinking forward a lot. So I think the old Gail would say, all right, that's cool, but appreciate the now. Appreciate what's going on right now. And don't look too much in the future and get frustrated or get, aggravated. Because I'm around artists all the time. And some of my very close friends are so aggravated because of the business, and I don't want to become like that. I want to stay in love with making music. I want to stay in love with making music for the people who love listening to my music. And I want to keep that perspective. And that Gail right there was so there. She can remind me to stay there at this point.
That's good.
Eloquently said.
Thank you.
Nika, you got the last question of this segment. What's up?
And he saved the best for last again.
Yes, he did.
So my question to you is, it's actually really simple. Do you use a vocal coach?
No.
Okay.
I think about getting one. Because when I tell you, my music teacher in high school would be cursing my Black self out. Okay? Because he'll be like, you're not doing what I taught you. Why are you screaming like that? Why are you doing this? He would be so aggravated with me. So sometimes I have to remember what he taught me, and I have to apply those things. And when I do apply those things, my voice feels so much better.
Yes.
My voice doesn't get as tired. So I do think that I am going to go ahead and invest in a vocal coach just to keep my knife sharp so that my voice will be able to last into, for years and years and years.
Yes.
For that reason. And I think it'll be like, something cool to do maybe once a week. Maybe I'll get out the house and go to that person and focus on vocal training for an hour or so, because we got to keep our knife sharp. We got to keep our knife sharp, and we can always learn something.
Right.
All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying this interview. But we do have segments, and Miss Campbell.
Yes.
All the segments are celebrating you tonight. So, like I said, we have the Wasted Potential segment, which is songs that our resident romantic feels could have came out and, added some more light to you. We have our top 5, which is to come, and we have the mood setter. What cologne would somebody put on to a Gail Campbell song to get somebody to suck on their neck real nice?
I got something tonight. Specifically for Gail, I got something.
So shout out to him because he said he gets aggravated with you all the time, I guess, when you sing.
You know what?
And I also want to give a shout out to a person who said, congratulations on going on the Daniel fast. She said she just started the fast yesterday. So one Danny girl, may the Most High bless your journey and may you get the best out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If that's who I think it is, I got you, and I'll walk that path with you as well. All right.
The best decision I've ever made for my health. I feel so good in my body. I used to be so tired all the time, and just the energy.
How much?
It's not even about
how much weight. How much weight did you lose?
Well, I stopped weighing myself. The Lord told me to stop, so I stopped weighing myself. I'll probably, after I finish, do this 5K. You see that, right, Karev?
Yeah, you getting ready.
After I finish the 5K, I will weigh myself. But I don't. The Lord told me to stop weighing myself because I was getting, the scale is a devil. So I don't weigh myself, but I my clothes are feeling different, but the most important thing for me right now, I guess when I was going into this, I was thinking weight all the time, but now it's just like my body feels so good. My sleep is so good. My digestion is so good. I'm not tired all the time. And the Lord said, listen, you in this young woman's game. You better take care of yourself. Like you gotta take care of yourself. You ain't 20. So yeah, I couldn't be tired. People that had no idea because I give so much on the stage. They didn't know that I'd be like messed up the next day, exhausted, needing a whole day to recover because I'm just like, I'm so tired because I poured out so much. So now, I can do the performance like I did last night and still be on here with y'all because I just feel so much better. So, may the Lord bless you on your journey. And I really hope that, it's a blessing to you like it's been to me.
And shout out to Jersey City because they got a great show. You know what I'm saying? But Gail, check this out. Nas, what's going on? It's time to talk Wasted Potential. What do you want to tell Gail about some of her great music?
My most favorite song is from the Bloody Waters album. My Wasted Potential for tonight is No Love. And that song will hit you like a ton of bricks. I seen the video for it. Man, dope video. When you hear that song, it's like, yo, this dude done messed up. Like if you were in the say she was in the club singing that song and you sitting in the audience and the dude that heard her sitting next to you hear that, you don't know love. You be looking at that dude up and down like, you did that to this woman? You know what I'm saying? Like that's a dope song. Mainstream radio, you messing up because you didn't put that song on the radio. Phenomenal, man.
And you know what? That's confirmation because last night while we were getting prepared for the concert, it was playing a lot of Bloody Water stuff while we were getting ready. They were just playing it in the venue. And I listened to Don't Know Love. I was like, yo, we need to work more with this joint. So that's confirmation I received, brother.
Yeah. Because like when I first heard that song, I was like, yo, they should at least do a video for this. Then lo and behold, like a couple weeks later, I see like you did like a preview of the video. So I like, see, look, I called it.
My favorite part of that promo for that video is Karev got me walking down the stairs with the wedding dress on. That is such a ill promo.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, we got it. You hear him. Let's get it with Don't Know Love.
Yeah. I'm saying like the symbolism for that, like at the end of the video, I seen you with the bloody dress on. Was that like symbolizing like your heart being torn out, or you just okay?
Yeah, it was the murder of my dream. It was the murder of my fairy tale that I had created in my mind. So yeah, it was all, very, Stanley Kubrick type of artistic expression.
Right. Once again, dope song, man. And mainstream media, shame on you for not reaching out and putting that song on the radio.
We're gonna get back to work with it.
Big A, is there a song from Gail that you like that you would have liked to see in a visual or something more?
Don't Know Love. That's why I was like, damn it. I love that song. Yo, because when I first heard it, you know how we said that, we hear people that sound like other people. The first couple of bars you singing kind of reminded me of Jennifer Hudson, like that rawness. And I was like, damn, why is this song not out there? Like, why is this not getting promoted? And then hearing you say that, I'm like, oh, this is confirmation what I was already thinking. So you said what I was thinking, because I'm like, yo, this song was actually the song I was going to use with the fragrance that I got tonight. But I'll still make it work. I got something else. That's all right.
Well, last night's concert was featured myself and dope artist named Omar. And while it was playing the Bloody Waters tracks, Omar was just kind of sitting there in his little cocoon, and I just was looking over there at him and the expressions on his face and the smiles as he was listening to Don't Know Love. I'm telling you, I was like, yeah, Don't Know Love is so dope. Like,
yeah, it is. It's really dope.
We need to really still be pushing that. Like, Don't Know Love, yeah.
It's got that old school sound to it. Like it has that mix of like, he mixed the sounds where it was like you could have seen it. You could be singing it at the Cotton Club, just like you could have been singing it at like the club in New York Undercover. Like it could have been, it could have been any of that genre. Like however you put it in that perspective, and then just hearing it, and then like just the sound, man. The voice on that is just, as the Italians would say. That's how it was. Yeah, word.
Word. All right, Nika, is there one song that you want to highlight?
Yes, and I actually wrote about it in my top 5, but that song is Next Time. Actually it was two, but I'm only going to talk about one, but it's Next Time. Man, I listened to that song over and over and over and over again because I had gone through this really bad breakup where this person had basically ripped my soul to shreds. And it was something about, I'm not gonna tell you what, because it's gonna mess up my top 5, but I heard that song and I was like, this is how I felt on a daily basis with him. And so for you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, the song Next Time She's it's an almost and it's very reminiscent of How Can I Ease the Pain by Lisa Fisher. You know, every night on my knees I pray for the strength to stay away, but for some reason you got this hold on me. And now when I think about now that I'm over it, and when I think about what it was, it's like that's it. You know, that's what that song is about. At least that's what I gathered from that song. And maybe your take is a little different because you're the artist, and so you see things, you hear things differently than I will. But when I hear that song, it was like, you mean to tell me I was in love with this food and all this food? I gotta be cautious with. I have to water myself down for this interview, y'all. You mean to tell me I went crazy over the little bit that you gave me?
Yes.
And I thought that was enough.
Yes.
I thought what you gave me was more than what I needed. And now that you're gone, I realized that you ain't shit. And I needed so much more than you could have ever given me. That's what Next Time is about. Yep. So I don't want to harp on that too much because I don't want to mess up my top 5. But that's Next Time. Yeah, that's my jam. That's my jam.
Oh, thank you. God, I haven't listened to Next Time in a minute. But yeah, like it's I'm telling you, women, it's a man. I know it's, you know, every time I think of Next Time, I think of Face. Karev, Face from A Squad. Mm-hmm. And Face loves that song. So I know that men can relate too, but yeah, it's like once you get free and then it was me trying. I felt like such a sense of shame that I was there, and I'm like, next time, next time. So yeah, gotta revisit that one too.
Yes,
please. All right. So, and to move on with our segments, I'd like to thank Nas for the Wasted Potential. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your favorite Gail Campbell song? Leave it in the comments. Make sure you drop a comment now. Make sure you hit that like button because I'm loving this interview and you should be too. And make sure you subscribe to A&N R&B. But Gail, check this out. Music is not only to be enjoyed by yourself. Sometimes you got to set the mood and bring somebody into your world. So we're going to talk to the brother A. Big A.
What's up?
Is that Gail Campbell song that make you somebody look at you and want to hold you tender or throw their ankles in the air? Why don't you let me know what that is?
Okay, let me. Yeah, so let me set the mood for you. You know, you remember since I threw it out there, the show New York Undercover, you know, they have their moments where they be doing a scene, you hear music in the background. Mm-hmm. So this would be a scene, you know, I'm meeting a personal, you know, love lady. I don't put it out there. We chilling or whatever, and we have Don't Know Love in the background, playing in the background. And I would definitely be wearing this. This right here is Untold Truth by Chanel Carroll, who is a former adult star. But this stuff right here is amazing. This is Untold Truth for Men. And the reason why I say your song sets the mood, because this right here, I have plenty of colognes and plenty of fragrances. It's like no other, just like your voice. And the mood is smooth. You know, that don't know love, you know, you're explaining everything, but it's in a soulful manner. Mm-hmm. And with that song playing in the background and this on right here, this smells amazing. This right here, I've worn and only sprayed maybe once or twice. And literally, I've gotten compliments for at least 8 hours straight. Like, oh, what is that? Oh, that's pretty smell. You smell pretty good. You know, just a little dap up, you know, with the boy. Hey, What's that, bro? What's that? That smells pretty good. What you got on? This right here. This right here is the truth right here. And
See if I can find that for my husband.
oh yeah. You definitely want to find it. You definitely want to find it. And I'll send you the information, but you can only buy it offline. You can't find this in the stores.
Okay.
This right here is original. Yes. This right here. You might not want him wearing this coming out the house, though. I'm just gonna warn you, cause you know.
Chops know the deal.
Hey, Chop, I ain't trying to get you in trouble, bro. I ain't trying to get you in trouble. I ain't trying to get you, but this is one of those smells right here you have on. It's one of those that, ooh, what's that?
So let me ask a question. Nika, is there a Gail Campbell song you would love somebody to sweep you off your feet to?
Ooh. Mm.
That many, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to narrow it down.
I ain't mad at you.
Like
my songs. Do I even have like?
Yes.
I was gonna say, it's not. I couldn't imagine like Gail. I haven't.
Oh man.
There's not a love making song, but I have heard some. I've heard some lines that.
Gail got bars.
Gail got bars for days. We're gonna get into that in a second. But I'm gonna get back to you on that one. Let me get back to you.
Okay. Hey, Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Lily just walked in the room. What you playing for her?
Your eyes.
First of all, who is Lily? I'm just.
Come on now, don't you disrespect Lily? Don't you disrespect Lily?
I know who Lily is. Okay,
don't disrespect Lily.
I know who Lily is.
What you say about Lily? Don't you talk about
that? Don't disrespect Lily.
But did you notice how she snapped her finger hard as hell and then looked into the camera? Just letting you know. All right.
Karev, can I tell y'all my song for my husband?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
True love magnetized me, and I fell in love with you. Hold me close, traumatize me, 'cause I don't like what you do. This dream I've been dreaming keeps me up all day. It's raising my mind to fly place and time, takes me away. This love is good, babe. Don't know what to say, but keep talking to me, ask me to stay. I wrote that specifically for him.
Hey.
I see why it's his favorite.
That's on the Let My People Go album.
Mm-hmm.
No one sing to me, but it's all right though. It's all good.
Don't worry, me either, bro.
Yeah, and you don't have to sing to me neither. So let's just move on to the next one. Hey, Gail, I'm gonna be honest with you. Before the interview ends, I'm gonna tell you about a dream I had that stars you in it.
Oh Lord.
And everybody knows my dreams come true if they really know me, because I'm very I get messages in my sleep. So shout out to my man Chops. He's an actual artist also, ladies and gentlemen. He has a song out named Chisel. So everybody who likes to dance, go get your TikTok ready. Check out the song Chisel. That's CHIZZLE out right now on all streaming services. But make sure you buy it.
Did you see the numbers?
Nah, I just hear the talent.
His view, I'm like, oh my God, he just put it out yesterday. So yeah, I'm excited for my husband.
Miss Ba said, Gail, that's my favorite.
Yes, that is her favorite.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you're enjoying this conversation and you're going to check out Gail's two classic albums, by the way, Bloody Waters and Let My People Go with Stanley Ipkiss. But we got to have some girl talk in here. It wouldn't be good without some girl talk. So, Nika, I have to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where is highlighting an artist? And as an artist, I know other artists don't like to listen to artists too much because, I get it. But Gail is amazing. And I would like to know, were there any songs that you heard from Gail that made a top 5 of your list to top 5 songs people should check Gail out to? And what you would recommend?
So here's the thing. I don't just listen to music because music is one thing. I listen to bars and I like to break down what people have to say, especially when they write their own stuff. So I got like some favorites, some favorite Gail songs, but I got some favorite Gail bars. So we're going to be breaking some bars down. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
So I got to start out with my favorite Gail Campbell song, which is Next Time off the Bloody Waters album. But you wrote, I walked what felt like 1,000 miles on hot coals. It wasn't with I wrote that wrong. It wasn't with my soul.
It wasn't worth my soul.
It wasn't worth my soul. Every single, and I'm trying to think of the song, like the lyrics as I'm going too. Every single cut you gave me, it was crazy. And I'm paraphrasing. Every single cut you gave me, it was crazy because I kept on coming back for more. That's how I felt. And remember I said that was my favorite Gail song. I remember wanting so badly to end it with this man. And for some reason, and I knew every time he cut me, that figurative cut, I just kept coming back. It was like something that just kept bringing me back to him. So that's probably one of my favorite bars that you wrote in that song. And if you've ever been attached to someone like that, then only you would understand. Mm-hmm. And so you being able to write that and portray that in your music, like I said, I listened to that song over and over. I think I cried like 1,000,000 times listening to that song because it was like, oh my God, she knows how I feel. So, that those lines, those bars just took something out of me. I was like, yeah, that I know somebody knows how I feel. And so you could relate to that. Yes. Number 2 is Let My People Go from the Let My People Go album. You said, oh yeah, open your eyes. You need to see it. Oh yeah, you are the prize. You need to be it. The thing that goes over people's head with that is that when Gail, I'm talking to you, Gail, but I'm talking about you to other people. So I'm referring to you in the third person. When Gail is talking, she's literally talking to women. Mm-hmm. And that is and I specifically wrote that line because right now it is Women's History Month. We're about to come up on Women's Appreciation Day. And I think there are so many times that as women, we forget that we are the prize.
Yes.
And we live in a society now, and I can honestly say this because I'm put my foot back out there and I'm dating. And one of the things that I've learned about men in our society is that for some reason these Negroes want to be chased. I am not chasing a man. I refuse to chase a man. I'm not going to do it. Why is Karev making all that? So I'm sorry. I'm just looking at him going in. But when I heard that in that song, you are the prize. You're the prize. He needs to be coming for you. Mm-hmm. You're the thing is, as women, we just need to, if a man has you chasing him, then he ain't the one.
Oh, girl.
If there's anything in this world that I have to chase, it ain't for me, because trust me, the Most High has created me so that my vibration is so high that the things that are meant for me are going to be attracted to me. And so when you say I am the prize, that means that I'm vibrating high enough so that somebody who is going to come for me is going to come to me. I don't have to chase after them. And so I read, and it says you need to see it, because some people know it, but some people hear it and they know it, but they don't know it. There's a difference, So, and Gail is talking to herself when she writes, but she doesn't understand is we believe she's talking to us. Yes. Thank you. It's like, yeah, like she's writing about the things that she's writing about the things that honestly nobody wants to talk about. and
Mhm.
somebody has to talk about it, and it has to
Mhm.
be said. So number 3, from the song "Too Bad" from the Bloody Water soundtrack, you said, "You had my presence, should have been your pleasure. I got that love that you cannot measure." Like, again, goes back to that appreciation of yourself and be, you you couldn't appreciate my essence, the essence of who I am. So bye, go.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and one of the other things that you said is you can't find another me.
Mm-mm.
Like you will never find another me. And you didn't say it in those words per se, but that's what
But
you
yep.
can go out here. You had me. And
Mhm.
now you screwed up because you're gonna go out here and try to find another me, and there ain't another me. Because guess
There ain't
what?
no other me.
I think, and I don't like quoting R. Kelly. Y'all already know I don't fool with R. Kelly like that. But R. Kelly had a song that says, "There can only be one me. There is only one Gail Campbell. There is only one Nika LaDean. If you got us, you got us. But if you ain't got us, then too bad, right?"
Right.
Number 4, I really wanted to say something about it's not a song, it's an interlude. My last 2 are interludes. Ipkiss Calls, the whole damn interlude. The whole interlude. Because one of the things that I loved about it is that it is really it's an inspiration from Ip, because your thing was you started to think, I know why he's calling. He's gonna ask me about this dang song, and then he's like, "What's up with the song?" Well, I don't feel like doing the song right now. Like I'm not in a good headspace. Well, that's when you need to do the song. That's when you need to get in the studio. And so I think as an artist, I can relate, because there are so many times where I don't feel like doing something, and then when I do, even like I have a song right now. I literally got in the studio like last week to do it, like week before last to do it, and I flipped out in the studio. I had a meltdown, and I looked at the engineer. I was like, "I hate this song," and and the engineer looked at me. He says, "This is gonna be your banger." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "Because this is the song you hate. Because the song that you hate is the one that you seem to put the most like the most
Mhm.
emotion into." And that
Yes.
ends up in it. And I'm like, "I freaking hate this song." And he's like, "Watch, just watch, stand by and watch." But I could agree with Ipkiss, where he's just like, the fact that you don't want to do it means that you need to go ahead and do it.
And that actually happened. That everything on that album was completely true.
Mm.
And I was procrastinating about getting started recording that album Bloody Waters, and that conversation really happened, and I had to push that joker so hard to go in the booth and just like do that, because he's so comfortable behind the scenes. I had to, but he did it.
And I'm glad, because that, I'm telling you, the whole album. And then finally, of course, if you notice, I've been like kind of relating. I think everybody can relate to your music, but one of the things the one that really just stuck out to me, I have anxiety, and there are days where I have anxiety really badly. There are days where I have panic attacks and I can barely function. Um, you have an interlude called "The Breakdown," and wait, who threatened to kill your cat?
That's how he got in the booth.
Oh God. So you have an interlude called "The Breakdown," and you can hear all of your thoughts overlapping. And so one of the things I wanted to bring up was that when I have a panic attack, that's what I hear in my head. And so when I try to explain it to people, I can't explain it to people, because I'm like, "You don't understand. Like, I've got so much going on in my head." And they're just like, "Okay, well, if you breathe and if you think one thought," I'm like, "No, it is not that easy." So when I heard "The Breakdown," I'm like,
That's how I feel a lot. Like all of her thoughts are overlapping. You were not completing one thought before you were saying another one. And then you didn't complete that thought before you were saying it. And it was random thoughts. Most of it was, of course, about the album. Oh my God, what does Ipkiss think about this? And oh my God, like you could hear it. And so,
and a lot of that feeling that I had was because that relationship that I was in did such a number on me, with regard to my self-esteem. And it was a part of me that was like, what if he right? What if I am nothing? What if I am a loser? What if I'm not gonna, all of those things. So, yeah. So I really wanted to express that, how I really was feeling.
Yeah. I've been there before. And I'm going to tell you something. With all of this that I wrote, and especially with this last part and what you just stated, healing looks good on you. Healing is beautiful on you.
Thank you so
So
much.
I want to make sure I point that out to you, sis. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for the bars that you wrote that helped me to realize where I, where from whence I've come. So I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for expressing how the album affected you, because um when I saw where the album was going, I was like, I can't do this, because there was a part of me that really liked how people saw me. And people saw me as like this strong Black woman. You know what I mean? And I didn't want them to know how low and how broken I was. But it was coming out in the music, and I was like, I'm not putting that on the album. I'm not putting that on the album. And the Lord said, you have to, because I want women to know that somebody understands, because when you're in that place, you feel so alone. You feel so alone.
Yeah.
So, we need to let each other know that we understand, and that, we can overcome.
Right.
We can get to that place
Right.
of victory and healing. So thank you so much for being so, transparent and open about that. It really, as an artist, really lets me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Absolutely.
I hope y'all love this, because this is straight from the heart and this is real. But before we get out of here, Nika, you got some competition. So Miss Boss said number 5, her top 5 is Up All Night. Number 4, she like Dangerous. Number 3, Fairy Tale. Number 2, For My Life. Her number 1 song from Gail Campbell is Victory. Which is the favorite of many people. Victory. Shout you out.
For my life.
So Gail, here's my dream. Everybody gets scared when I say I got dreams about them and stuff, because they think it's some crazy junk. I did have some crazy dreams before. I'm not gonna share my dreams on here.
We all
Yeah.
have.
Oh no.
Oh no.
My dreams are different.
His dreams
Like
is real different.
Like I had a dream I had to kill a cast to living single to save the world.
You had to kill a who?
See what I'm talking about? I had many dreams that I bugged out. You know what I'm saying?
He heard what he said. She didn't hear what he said.
Don't repeat your dreams online, okay? let's deal with this one here, please.
But I'll be honest with you. One of my dreams actually put on Facebook, because you were in it. I said how me and my brother want to remake New York Undercover, but make it Brick City centric. And we talked about Natalie's being on the show, and we was thinking about people who could sing in the club and be the backdrop of the show, and that was you. Well, I had an artistic one as well, where I would like to work with Armando and my brother, and I'll also Sal. Shout out to Saladin North. I want to do a visual interpolation, not interpretation. I wanted to, you know what interpol means, but I want to do something with that, with visuals in your song. And the idea I have is based on Tales from the Crypt, but with your music. So we can talk about that later if you're interested. Yeah, see her face? That's why I want to do it. So we can talk about that later, and we can make it very interesting. She said, "Wait,
Yes.
what? Not the whole living single cash. Queen Latifah was a spider. I had to crush her. True
What?
As in my dream, but we're not gonna talk about that right now.
You know I
Oh
love me
my
some
God.
Dana.
Dana.
But before we get out of here, I'd like to say respect to Donnell Jenkins. His son was born today. Donovan Jenkins has entered the world, so he want to let the world know he has a son. So
Congratulations.
shout out
God
to
bless
Donovan
him.
Congratulations.
and his
Yeah.
beautiful lady, the new mom. May
Yes.
the Most High bless your family. And Donovan, welcome to the world. It's going to hurt, but you can make a difference and make the Lord's blessings live through you in your life. So may the Most High bless you and your family. You know what I'm saying? So before we get out of here, you know what I'm saying? We always do like a walk-off song. We always have like a last thing we want to say. So we're going to give you the honor of sending us out. So before we do that, Nika, any last words for the guests or everybody watching? Anything you want to say?
Yes, I just want to thank Gail for gracing us with her presence and all of this beautiful feminine energy that she has assisted me with today. Because, girl, I'm always the only woman on this show, so thank you for that. And also, I just want to say, it's gonna be a beautiful week. Go love on somebody, love somebody. That's it. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Yes,
So
yes.
find a way to show someone that you love them.
You hear all that microphone.
that microphone is like, let my people go.
All right. Hey, Nas, any last words you want to go?
My words as always, remember what matters to you the most. All this fictitious stuff, money, health, family, and love is the essential. That's the basis of most good R&B music, as these singers will let you know. And remember what's important and do the right thing and enjoy life. Oh, and my song for the week is Rock Creek Park by the Blackbirds.
Doing it, and that's in DC, right?
Doing it. Oh, yes, they are. Right. You know what? And all this time I used to be like Weekway Park. Weekway Park.
Rock Creek
Weekway
Park.
I know it's Rock Creek Park, but I grew up Weekway Park.
Yeah, Rock Creek Park is a real park in DC and it's huge. You driving for like a while around Rock Creek Park. And the Blackbirds are from DC. That's why they made
they was doing it in the park after dark.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything at that park after dark. It's dangerous.
I would suggest anything in the dark at any park.
As a matter of fact, who was the girl? What's her not Lace Peterson. What's the other girl's name that got killed a few years ago? That's the senator killed her. That's where he stashed her body in Rock Creek Park.
Jesus.
What? Yeah. Are you serious?
I can't remember her name.
TV shows are true, huh?
Yeah.
No, it was true. I can't think of her name right now.
I remember that story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, damn.
Shout out to
changing my track to make it morbid. Dang.
Chandra Levy.
Levy. Oh, I remember that case. The Chandra Levy case.
She was having an affair with the senator, and they stashed her body in Rock Creek Park.
Yeah, I remember that. That was all over the news.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, every time I listen to that song, I gotta think about that.
Thanks, Nika. Thanks, Nika.
Nah, it's your fault. It's out of y'all fault.
Oh, all right, it's my fault,
right.
guys.
It damn sure is. Hey, Nas, you wanna say anything to lead us out before Don't do mine.
Oh.
Adiar jumped the gun. Song of the week. Thank you. God damn you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to ANN R&B. We ask that you follow us on ANN R&B on Instagram. Please follow us. This is a brand new show where we're not only highlighting life, but we're giving it a musical identity as well with R&B music. R&B music is a music that only a certain few can do, but when it's done correctly, not only are you birthing new individuals, but you're birthing new creativity in the world as well. If you're listening to this on a stream, please subscribe to the stream and follow it. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, of course, heritagehiphop.com, which is the home of everything Heritage Hip Hop. And wherever you go, we can go with you. So please make sure you look for the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast and follow ANN R&B on that podcast. If you're joining us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit all so you don't miss any of these classic interviews. And you could rerun this one for somebody who missed it. So make sure you share that and hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? We got a comment. So this is an excellent show. Gail, I'm sorry this was my first introduction to you and your music, but I'm so glad it was. Where can I follow you and find your music? Exactly. Well, we're going to do that at the end. So don't answer that just yet. Adiar took the thing with song of the week. Thank you. I wanted to have the song of the week to myself. Yes. Song of the week, everybody. Because everybody talked about their songs, and I purposely did that so I could stay last. Because everybody knows I don't really listen to R&B. So I wanted to highlight one song in particular that is my favorite Gail Campbell song, which is Your Eyes. Oh. And Your Eyes, to me, is what love is. It's not about the song. It's about the message. Because some people, I say love is relative, but pain is universal. But universally, everybody wants to be cherished. DMX said it best. Everybody wants to be somebody's baby. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when somebody could take the time to look into your eyes, not only does that mean that they take you serious, but they appreciate you and the space and the air that you breathe. They appreciate that God put you there for a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, we're only here for a little bit of time. And so the people who get to love you and be around you are definitely blessed, because out of 9 billion people in the world, less than 3% know who you are. So all the time in the air that you breathe and the time and whatever you give to everybody else, whether they love it or hate it, you have blessed them. And they for damn sure should be welcoming and know that they're worthy of that time. Hate it or love it, you'll learn to appreciate it because it's the best thing going today, and that's God and life. So get your minds right. All right. So Nas, you want to say your part now?
Oh yeah, from all of us at ANN and R&B, I want to thank you, Gail Campbell, for coming on. First interview, beautiful interview. Yes. Thank you, and until next time, we'll be thinking of you.
Thank you so much.
So Gail, give them that. Let them keep thinking about you. What's them social medias, and let everybody know where you are.
My IG is Gail Campbell Music. Its IG is King Ipkiss 26. Y'all make sure y'all follow my husband and cop that chisel. That's Chops the Savior. And those are my social media handles. Thank you so much, each and all of you. Karev, A, Nas, Nika. Thank you so much for having me. This is such a beautiful platform. I'm so happy for you and proud of you, Karev. This is such a vibe. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. I saw my daughter's comment pop up. I love you, mommy. I love you too, little girl. And yeah, just thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. So with that being said, oh shoot, and get right. Hey, love you, sis.
And I love you too, bro. That's my brother. I love you.
That's my guy. So shout out to everybody who's watching. May the Most High bless you, and we leave you with one final word. Everybody know what that word is? Nah? The word is peace.